Chivas de Guadalajara are one of Liga MX's most supported clubs and have a unique policy of only fielding Mexican players. Some of El Tri's biggest stars like Javier Hernandez, Carlos Vela, and Omar Bravo all got their start through Chivas. While it's a unique transfer policy, some supporters believe it's actually holding the club back, especially when homegrown talents leave for other teams, as may soon be the case for Alexis Vega and Jose Juan Macias, the latter of which having already spent a season on loan at Getafe in La Liga. Regardless, we're going to keep this strict transfer policy of only signing Mexican players in this twist on a rebuild where we not only bring in the next generation of talents via the youth academy system, but also go back in time by returning club legends and placing Chivas into Copa Libertadores. Mexican teams were actually involved in the competition from 1998 to 2016, and some rumors indicate that a return might also include the invitation of clubs from Major League Soccer. So to create this hypothetical scenario, I've placed all 18 teams from Liga MX, 2 MLS clubs, and 3 Brazilian clubs into the Argentine Primera División, where River Plate, Boca Juniors, and Racing Club will also take part in our league format. This unlocks Copa Libertadores in-game, so we'll try to have Chivas become the first Mexican team to win said competition. Since the youth academy is going to be such a big part of this rebuild, it would have been ideal to start the save with the homegrown talent, but because we swapped leagues over to Argentina, we don't have any Mexican players in our youth academy and won't be able to sign any of them. But scrolling through our board objectives, this first season is very much going to be a trial run. Qualification for Copa Libertadores won't take effect until season 2, so we'll just try to build the squad as best as possible and achieve a good finish in the league. 24 million or so to work with in our transfer budget, and I figure we may as well expand upon our youth scouts. Adding a 5-star scout along the way, he will be establishing a network in Mexico for 9 months, searching for any type of player. And January 2022 is where things are going to kick off. Looking at some of the squad growth across this first half of the season, we've seen some significant rises in player ratings. However, we are outside of the top 7, so I think it's time to make some signings and improve upon our performances. In my opinion, Javier Hernandez is the most notable player to come out of Chivas' youth academy over the last decade or two. His move to Manchester United in 2010 was a big deal for the sport, at least here in North America. Although he's doing quite well at the LA Galaxy, time for him to come home to Chivas. We'll mark this transfer for $12.5 million. Considering he is 33 years old, we don't have too many seasons left in his career, but hopefully he can make his mark on this rebuild. That will also mean a departure in the form of Macias. I thought it was interesting that another Premier League club in Aston Villa expressed interest in him, kind of following the career of Chicharito to an extent. In the end, it's going to be a 25 million transfer, and later on in the video, we'll take a look and see how Macias' career progressed. But Hernandez will take over the captain's armband. I think it's only right. And the league in Argentina actually ends fairly quickly. It only goes up until March, so I figured we may as well showcase this match against America. And when it comes to Mexican football, I would say there are 2 big clubs, America and Chivas. They're the 2 most popular teams, and they're also the 2 most successful clubs in Liga MX. A win in this fixture could push us higher in the table, potentially into the top 7 as we close out the season. While it's never ideal to travel away from home, it is pretty cool that the Estadio Azteca is a real stadium in-game. Kind of forgot about it, considering I don't do too many saves in Liga MX, but we can go on to enjoy the highlights here. As Dos Santos sets up a Toro, we get a little bit of luck for that to go off the crossbar, but the follow-up pass goes straight back to an America player, and they will open up the scoring 24 minutes in. To be fair, Gudiño should have done better. We need to limit those sort of defensive errors moving forward. Still plenty of time to get back into this one though, and as we work the ball down the left, it's our 2 star players with Alexis Vega and Chicharito who link up and will provide the equalizer there in the 35th minute. In front of goal, Chicharito is one of the best finishers, and we're certainly happy to have him back at Chivas. It's Alvarado now that sets up Chicharito again. That effort nearly trickles in front of goal, but Guillermo Ochoa with a pretty good save. However, on the next occasion, shortly after the halftime break, he's not going to be stopping that one. It's a brace for Hernandez, and that actually does end up being a deciding goal. Not a whole lot of highlights after that point, as we pick up 3 crucial points away from home. And looking at the final league table, it was a close contest. Boca Juniors winning the league by 1 point, only 3 points separating us and 8th place Santos Laguna. And most importantly, that qualifies us for Copa Libertadores. next season. Speaking of which, Corinthians will win the competition with a 1-0 victory in the final. Surprised to see Boca Juniors in the Sudamericana, but they'll get a victory against Fluminense 2-1 in the final. As far as goal output goes, Alexis Vega will lead the way with 13 goals from 25 appearances. It is worth noting that Hernandez scored 6 goals from 7 matches. Didn't have too much time to make a mark after signing in January. But as for the assist category, it is Alvarado to rack up 7 assists from 25 appearances. Some good growth across the board, but one player that I'll be keeping an eye on closely is Perez Bouquet. He's an original Chivas player, has decent potential as well, and hopefully he can maintain that sort of growth season after season. One addition from our youth academy in Juanma Hurtado. Not the highest rated player at 59 overall, but his potential is good, 80 to 94. So he'll be getting an opportunity at right back next season. Looking to build upon our manager rating and hopefully getting some more realistic objectives moving forward. With qualification for Copa Libertadores secured, Season 2 is going to be an exciting one. If you're enjoying the rebuild up to this point, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. At this stage, I've sort of accepted the fact that some board objectives are just not going to make sense for the rebuild that we're looking to do. So instead, we'll focus on the critical priority objective of domestic success, fighting for the league title. And while there's nothing listed yet in the continental success, we do have Copa Libertadores later on. Here's a look at the group that we've been placed in. Palmeiras, Union La Calera, and Sol de America are who we'll need to get by. 42 million to work with in the transfer budget, and one of our players have actually exceeded the funds we had to work with in just his value alone. Alexis Vega has been linked to several sides, and we just let the first team go ahead and pay his release clause. It was Atletico Madrid. La Liga is always going to be a popular destination, and I think for 51.2 million, it's a good transfer. A couple of other departures as well. Cisneros heading to Watford for 2.2 million, and Van Rocken heading to BSC Young Boys for 2 million. This is the other transfer I wanted to make sure happened before this rebuild comes to an end. Carlos Vela, another talent from MLS. A couple of seasons ago, set the single-season goal-scoring record in Major League Soccer, and obviously one of the top talents from El Tri in recent years. We're not too worried about the transfer fee. 17 million is what we had to pay. Slightly above his evaluation, but now with Vela and Hernandez, I think we can make some magic happen in this Chivas rebuild. Beginning the season against Racing Club and looking through some of the breaking news, apparently, our manager is confident that this can be the year we win the league, if not become the best Mexican team in the league that we've created. Looking through our overall ratings, I think we've got a fair chance at it, and we'll see how we've done up until the January transfer window. We find ourselves second, 5 points behind Boca Juniors, who are dominating the league up to this point. Again, some good growth across the board, enough that I don't think we need to focus on any January transfer window signings. So we'll move forward to the second last match day, and it's going to be a deciding one against Boca Juniors. We're just 1 point shy of them now. There's also some history tied into this fixture. One of Guadalajara's best ever wins came in 2005, where they defeated Boca Juniors 4-0. This will be an important match not only for our league hopes, but also for Javier Hernandez. He's hanging up the boots at season's end. It's been a short stint for his return at Chivas, but I think if we can somehow pick up a victory here, that would be the perfect send-off for him. But we'll get into these highlights, and it's Brereton Diaz that is apparently transferred over to Boca Juniors. An interesting move, but it was a nervy fixture here as we get into the first couple of minutes. Already a yellow card offense from the Boca Juniors attacker, and as we close in on the end of the first half, it's Alvarado that picks up the ball. Just a good bit of pressure and a great finish in the end to open up the scoring. 41 minutes in, he's now the top valued player at Chivas. And despite all the departures, it seems like we're still working on all fronts, keeping that momentum going in the 44th minute. Off of a 50-50 ball, we win possession, and Hernandez in front of goal. The great thing about him is that he is able to score so many different ways. His positioning and movement off the ball is one of the best, and that was shown there from the header. In the 49th minute, within about 10 minutes or so, we've seen 3 goals, and it's Boca Juniors that cut the deficit in half. It's a nice bit of passing play to eventually get another chance in the 80th minute. Great save from Godinho, who's done well and recovered from his mistake that he made in Season 1. But off the set piece, Boca Juniors will finally get the equalizer. They did well to respond, and with just 10 minutes or so left to go, we'll need to answer quickly. We do get some chances as Chicharito will get an opportunity in front of goal. He really should have done better with the chance. He's put those away on pretty much every occasion up to this point. And here again, it's two key opportunities, but we're unable to find the third goal. And this match will end in a draw, much to the disappointment of our fans. There was still a chance that Boca Juniors would drop points on the final match day, but of course they do finish 1 point ahead of us. We are still the top team from Mexico, which I think counts for something. And as we move forward to April, we can turn our attention to Copa Libertadores. I thought we had a good chance of advancing out of our group. I didn't expect to finish top though, with 14 points. Undefeated, which wasn't an easy task considering that Palmeiras is one of the best teams from Brazil. Heading into the round of 16, we do have another Brazilian opponent in Fluminense, but we'll have to see how those results go in Season 3 because we have reached the end of the current campaign, and we'll cover all the statistics. Javier Hernandez in his final season, going down 3 in his overall, but still netting 16 goals from 31 appearances. Perez Bouquet maintaining his growth, going up +4 to a 71 overall, 8 assists from 30 appearances. But I think the standout young player has been Hurtado. He's gone up +9 in his overall, up to a 68. The gamble to feature him in the starting 11 has paid off, and we're continuing to find great talents from our youth academy system. Manu Ruiz, a 69 rated Mexican left winger, 89 to 94 potential. I think there's a good chance he will feature in the starting 11 for next season. We've also managed to rise across the board for our board objectives. Season 3 will be the first time we're on the search for regions. Obviously, the departure of Hernández will make for tough shoes to fill, but I'm confident we can find another capable striker. As for our board objectives, actually some better stuff here, looking to basically make a younger squad and also add some crucial players to the first team. Domestic success objective of winning the league title, and for Copa Libertadores, we need to reach the semifinals. We're again seeing a rise to our transfer budget, so now we just need to find the right players to add to the team. Again, Premier League interest for some of our own talents. Going into this rebuild, Alvarado was a pretty recent addition to Chivas. I think he joined about a year ago, but now he's going to be on his way to Arsenal, similar to what happened with Carlos Vela, leaving for 75 million. And we've had some good luck in finding Chicharito's regen. Fortunately, with Mexico being not as popular of a nation, there's a limited player pool. And at just 18 years old, Santiago Rey seems to be quite the talent, high-low work rates, and hopefully he can be as good of a goal scorer as Hernández was. Slowly but surely, we're incorporating these younger players into our starting 11. Ruiz now playing at the left wing position for the departure of Alvarado. And then, of course, Rey at striker. We'll see if this team can get things done in Copa Libertadores as we pick things up in the round of 16. Our first leg against Fluminense ending in a 1-1 draw. However, we pick up a 1-0 win in the second leg. Our new player addition, Rey, scoring the deciding goal as we head into the quarterfinals with matches against Club Atlético Paranaense. It's a brace from Rey in the first leg, giving us a huge lead and an advantage in the competition. More of a goal-scoring affair in the second leg, but we have enough done on aggregate to advance to the semifinals against Internacional. First leg is again going to see Rey scoring a goal, ending in a 1-1 draw, but we get a 1-0 victory with one of the more experienced players in the squad, Carlos Vela, scoring the deciding goal. That means we'll be playing the final against Palmeiras, and clearly some other teams around the league caught on to our success here at Chivas, as River Plate now want us to be their manager, but of course we'll be declining that offer. But before we head into this Copa Libertadores final, I wanted to check back on some of the players that left the club, starting with Jose Juan Macias. He's made the transfer to Sevilla now, up to an 82 overall at 24 years old. Alexis Vega has his contract expiring within the next 12 months, but he has exceeded his potential in career mode, now up to an 85 overall at 26 years old. And still a relatively new departure. Not sure if Alvarado has broken into the Arsenal first team, but with an 85 overall and just 25 years old, he has a bright future ahead. But without further ado, we'll head into this Copa Libertadores Cup final. We'll see if Chivas can indeed be the first Mexican team to win this competition. We've had a quick rise to the top with Chivas, built upon the experience of some former youth academy players and of course, new talents like Ray, scoring the first goal of the match just 9 minutes in and setting the tempo for how things are going to go, winning back possession. And it's going to be an early foul and an early yellow card for Palmeiras. Might that play a role later in the match? But Ruiz down the left-hand side will play a perfect cross, and Perez Bouquet should have done better with the chance. Had that been Chicharito, for an example, that could have easily been a second goal. And these are the sort of mistakes that we can't afford to make, because here in the 37th minute, Palmeiras do find the equalizer. We saw this against Boca Juniors, where we had a 2-0 lead, but if we let our opponents back into the match, then we could very easily see a different result. In the 75th minute, though, we made a substitution, and that proved the difference, as the player we brought on provided the assist for Ray, as he gets his second goal, and he was not done there. Gets played over the top, and as the keeper tries to close down the space, it leaves enough of an opening for the chip shot effort. It's 3 for him on the day, 3 for Chivas, and that will mean a Copa Libertadores title for us to close out the rebuild. I'm happy that a player like Carlos Vela can be the one to lift the title for us in what will be his final season as well, before retiring at the end of the year. To make things just a little bit better, we also managed to secure the league title, although it wasn't the top priority in this rebuild. Still happy we could check that off. And winning this Recopa Internacional competition, so technically a treble for us this year. 19 goals for Ray across 32 appearances, and 9 assists for Angelo, who proved to be a great player in this rebuild. Manu Ruiz going up +9 in his rating, and he was probably the best Youth Academy player we managed to find. And despite all that success, we still saw a drop in our board objectives. Not too sure about that, but here's a final look at the squad. Happy to try something a little bit different with this rebuild. Make sure to leave your suggestions in the comments section for what other kind of content you want to see. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new, but until next time, this has been Flick. I'll be talking to you all again soon.